Are you searching for direction from God and eager to understand His plans for you? If you're experiencing a period where it seems like God is not present, you're not alone. This video will help you recognize the unmistakable signs that God is working profoundly in your life, even when it feels like He's far away. Understanding God's movements can sometimes be challenging, especially during seasons of silence or struggle. But rest assured, God is always at work, shaping and guiding your path. You may be going through a transformative period, a time where God is preparing you for something greater. The signs of God's presence and activity in your life can be subtle yet powerful. They may come in the form of unexpected blessings, sudden opportunities, or a deep sense of peace amid chaos. These signs are God's way of showing you that He is in control and that He has a plan for your life. In this video, we'll delve into these signs and help you see how God is orchestrating events for your good. Stay tuned to learn how to recognize God's hand in your life and find the assurance that He is always with you, working everything out for your ultimate benefit. Here are 7 signs that show God is moving in a big way in your life. Number 1. Unexpected opportunities. Arise. Have you ever experienced a moment where it seemed like a door opened just at the right time, leading you to an opportunity you never thought possible? These moments can feel like coincidences, but they are often much more than that. They are signs that God is moving in your life, aligning your path with His divine plan. When unexpected opportunities arise, it can be a powerful indication that God is at work. These opportunities might come in various forms, such as a new job, a blossoming relationship, or an unexpected experience that aligns perfectly with your dreams. Each of these moments is a testament to God's hand, guiding you toward His purpose for your life. One of the most tangible signs that God is moving in your life is the sudden appearance of job opportunities. You may have been struggling in your career, feeling stuck, or unsure of your next steps. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, a job offer comes your way that fits your skills and passions perfectly. This is not a random occurrence. It is God's way of positioning you where you need to be. Take, for example, the story of Joseph in the Bible. Joseph went through numerous hardships, including being sold into slavery by his brothers and being wrongfully imprisoned. Despite these challenges, Joseph remained faithful to God. Eventually, he was given the opportunity to interpret Pharaoh's dreams, which led to him being appointed as a high-ranking official in Egypt. This opportunity was not by chance. It was God's plan unfolding in Joseph's life. Similarly, when you encounter new job opportunities that seem perfectly tailored for you, recognize them as part of God's plan. Embrace these opportunities with faith, knowing that God is leading you to a place where you can grow and serve His purpose. Another way God moves in our lives is through the relationships He brings our way. These relationships can be with friends, mentors, or romantic partners. When you meet someone who significantly impacts your life, it's often a sign that God is orchestrating your journey. Consider the story of Ruth and Boaz. Ruth, a Moabite widow, chose to stay with her mother-in-law, Naomi, and move to Bethlehem. There she met Boaz, a kind and wealthy landowner. Their relationship blossomed, leading to their marriage, and Ruth becoming the great-grandmother of King David. This meeting was no accident. It was a divine appointment set by God. When you encounter people who positively influence your life and align with your values and dreams, it's a sign that God is at work. These relationships are opportunities for growth, learning, and fulfillment, and they often lead to further blessings in your life. Sometimes God moves in our lives through unexpected experiences that push us out of our comfort zones. These experiences can be new adventures, challenges, or opportunities to learn and grow. They often come when we least expect them, but have a profound impact on our lives. Think about Moses and the burning bush. Moses was tending his father-in-law's sheep when he encountered a burning bush that was not consumed by the flames. This unexpected experience led to Moses receiving God's call to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Moses' life was forever changed by this divine encounter. When you find yourself in situations that challenge you or lead you to new experiences, view them as opportunities from God. Embrace these moments with an open heart, knowing that God is guiding you toward growth and a deeper understanding of His plans for you. The key to recognizing these unexpected opportunities as God's work is to remain open and faithful. Trust that God has a plan for your life, even when things don't go as expected. His timing is perfect, and His ways are higher than our ways. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us to trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. This means that even when we don't understand why certain things happen, we can trust that God is leading us in the right direction. When we seek God's will and remain faithful, He will reveal His plans to us in due time. It's important to stay patient and not rush into decisions based on our own understanding. God's timing is always perfect, and He knows when we are ready for the opportunities He has prepared for us. Look at the story of David. Anointed as a young shepherd boy to be the future king of Israel, David had to wait many years before he actually became king. During this time, he faced numerous trials and challenges, yet he remained faithful to God. Eventually, God's promise was fulfilled, and David became one of the greatest kings of Israel. To recognize and embrace these opportunities, we need to stay close to God through prayer, reading His Word, and seeking His guidance. When we align our hearts with God's will, we become more attuned to the signs He places in our path. It's also essential to step out in faith when these opportunities arise. Fear and doubt can hold us back, but remember that God does not call us to a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Trust that God will equip you for the opportunities He presents, and that He will be with you every step of the way. Finally, sharing your testimony of how God has moved in your life through these unexpected opportunities can inspire and encourage others. Your story can be a powerful witness to God's faithfulness and His ability to work in ways we never imagined. By sharing how God opened doors for you, provided new relationships, and led you through unexpected experiences, you can help others see the signs of God's work in their own lives. Your testimony can be a beacon of hope, reminding others that God is always at work, even when we can't see it. Number 2, unexplainable peace in chaos. Even in the midst of turmoil and uncertainty, you experience a profound sense of peace. This peace transcends understanding and reassures you that God is in control, guiding you through every storm. It's a peace that doesn't make sense to the world, yet it's real and tangible to those who trust in God. This unexplainable peace is one of the clearest signs that God is with you, providing comfort and strength when everything around you seems to be falling apart. When you face difficult situations such as losing a job, dealing with illness, or experiencing the breakdown of a relationship, it's natural to feel overwhelmed and anxious. However, those who put their faith in God often find that, despite the chaos, they have an inner calm that cannot be shaken. This peace is not something that can be manufactured or forced. It is a gift from God that comes from knowing He is in control and has a plan for your life. Think about Jesus calming the storm in the Gospels. The disciples were terrified as the waves crashed over their boat, but Jesus, with a simple command, brought peace to the chaos. He rebuked the wind and the waves, and they became completely calm. This miracle is a powerful reminder that Jesus has the authority to bring peace into any situation, no matter how dire it may seem. In your own life, you may find that during the most challenging times, a sense of peace envelops you. This peace acts as a shield, protecting your heart and mind from the fears and doubts that threaten to take over. It's as if God is whispering to your soul, reminding you that He is with you, and that nothing can separate you from His love and care. This peace is also a sign of spiritual maturity and growth. As you deepen your relationship with God and learn to trust Him more fully, you begin to experience this peace more consistently. It doesn't mean that you will never feel anxious or afraid, but it does mean that you have a steadfast assurance that God is bigger than any problem you face. Your faith becomes a solid foundation that keeps you grounded, even when the world around you is shaking. Consider the story of Paul and Silas in prison. Despite being beaten and thrown into a dark, dank cell, they chose to sing hymns and pray. Their circumstances were grim, yet they experienced a peace that allowed them to praise God. This peace not only sustained them, but also became a powerful testimony to those around them, including the jailer who eventually came to believe in God. The peace that God provides is not dependent on external circumstances. It is rooted in His character and promises. God is faithful, and He never changes. When you anchor your hope in Him, you can experience peace no matter what life throws at you. This peace is a reminder that God is sovereign and that He is working all things together for your good, even when you can't see it. Prayer is a powerful way to access this peace. When you bring your worries and fears to God in prayer, you are acknowledging your dependence on Him and inviting Him to take control of your situation. Philippians 4:6-7 encourages us to not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present our requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. This peace is also closely tied to trust. The more you trust God, the more peace you will experience. Trusting God means believing that He is good, that He loves you, and that He is capable of handling whatever you are going through. It means letting go of the need to control everything and surrendering to His will. This doesn't come naturally to us, but as we practice trust and see God's faithfulness, it becomes easier. Unexplainable peace is a testimony to others. When people see you remaining calm and hopeful in the face of adversity, they will wonder how it's possible. This opens the door for you to share about the source of your peace and point them to God. Your life becomes a living testimony of God's power and presence, and you have the opportunity to lead others to the peace that only He can provide. Unexplainable peace in chaos is one of the most powerful signs that God is at work in your life. It reassures you that He is in control, guiding you through every storm, and it serves as a testimony to others of His presence and power. When you experience this peace, you can face any situation with confidence, knowing that God is with you and that He will see you through. Trust in Him, lean on Him, and allow His peace to guard your heart and mind, no matter what challenges you may face. Number 3, divine protection and provision. In life, we often encounter situations that leave us feeling vulnerable and in need. Yet there are moments when we can clearly see that we are being protected from harm and provided for in ways that seem miraculous. These instances of divine protection and provision are powerful signs that God's hand is at work, ensuring our needs are met and guiding us through life's challenges. When we talk about divine protection, we refer to those moments when we narrowly escape danger or when harm is somehow averted. It might be a near-miss car accident, avoiding a financial scam, or being in the right place at the right time to avoid a natural disaster. These moments remind us of the many times God has shielded us from unseen dangers. In Psalm 91:11, we are reminded that He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. This verse reassures us that God's angels are always watching over us, providing protection even when we are unaware of it. One of the most profound examples of divine protection can be found in the story of Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel's faithfulness to God led him into a perilous situation, yet God protected him in a miraculous way. The lions' mouths were shut, and Daniel emerged unscathed. This story illustrates how God can protect us from the most dire threats, reminding us that His power is greater than any danger we face. Similarly, God's provision is evident in our lives when we find our needs met in unexpected and remarkable ways. This might be financial support arriving just when we need it, receiving a clean bill of health after a scary diagnosis, or finding comfort and strength during a personal crisis. These acts of provision remind us that God is our provider, and He is fully aware of our needs. Consider the story of Elijah during the drought. God provided for Elijah by sending ravens to bring him food and by leading him to a brook for water. Later, God directed him to a widow in Zarephath, who, despite having very little, was able to provide for Elijah, herself, and her son. This story is a powerful reminder that God can provide for us in the most unlikely ways and through the most unexpected people. In our own lives, we may experience divine provision through various means. It could be a sudden job opportunity that meets our financial needs, a kind word or act from a friend that lifts our spirits, or an unexpected healing that restores our health. These moments of provision are not mere coincidences. They are God's way of showing us that He is intimately involved in our lives and cares deeply about our well-being. It's important to recognize that God's protection and provision do not always come in the ways we expect. Sometimes we may face difficulties and challenges that seem overwhelming. However, even in these moments, God is at work, providing us with the strength, wisdom, and resources we need to navigate through them. Romans 8:28 reminds us that, "In all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This verse encourages us to trust that God is working for our good, even when we cannot see it. Moreover, God's protection and provision often come through the people around us. Friends, family, and even strangers can be instruments of God's care in our lives. A timely word of encouragement, a financial gift, or a helping hand can all be ways in which God provides for us through others. By being open to receiving help and support from those around us, we can experience God's love and care in tangible ways. Faith plays a crucial role in experiencing God's protection and provision. When we trust in God's promises and remain faithful to Him, we open ourselves to His guidance and care. Proverbs 3:5. 6 instructs us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. This means that by placing our trust in God, we can rest assured that He is leading us and providing for us in ways we may not even realize. It's also important to cultivate a heart of gratitude for God's protection and provision. By regularly reflecting on and giving thanks for the ways God has cared for us, we deepen our awareness of His presence in our lives. Gratitude helps us to recognize the many blessings we receive daily and fosters a deeper trust in God's continued faithfulness. Lastly, sharing our experiences of God's protection and provision with others can be a powerful testimony of His goodness. When we share how God has provided for us or protected us from harm, we encourage others to trust in His care and to look for His hand in their own lives. Our stories of God's faithfulness can inspire hope and strengthen the faith of those around us. Number 4, spiritual growth and deeper faith. Spiritual growth and deeper faith are pivotal aspects of a vibrant Christian life. They signify a journey where your faith is being stretched and strengthened, leading you to a closer relationship with God. This growth is often marked by increased time spent in prayer and a more earnest seeking of His guidance. However, this journey frequently comes through challenges that push you to rely on Him more profoundly. One of the clearest indicators of spiritual growth is the way you respond to life's challenges. Instead of succumbing to fear or despair, you find yourself turning to God for strength and wisdom. These moments of difficulty become opportunities for your faith to be tested and refined. Just as gold is purified by fire, your faith is strengthened through trials. James 1:2-4 reminds us to consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. As you navigate these challenges, you may notice a shift in your priorities. You begin to value time spent in prayer and reading the Bible more than ever before. These practices become essential lifelines, offering comfort and direction. Through prayer, you communicate with God, laying your burdens before Him and seeking His will. This deepens your relationship with Him as you learn to listen for His voice and trust in His plans. Moreover, your desire for God's guidance becomes more earnest. You start seeking His direction in every aspect of your life, recognizing that His wisdom far surpasses your own. This dependence on God is a sign of spiritual maturity, as you acknowledge your limitations and embrace His sovereignty. Proverbs 3:5-6 encourages us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. This verse encapsulates the essence of deeper faith, a complete trust in God's ability to lead and provide. Another aspect of spiritual growth is a heightened sense of God's presence in your life. As you spend more time in prayer and study, you become more attuned to His voice and more aware of His workings. This awareness brings a profound sense of peace and assurance, even in the midst of uncertainty. You begin to see God's hand in the details of your life, recognizing His provision, protection, and guidance. This growth also often results in a more active and vibrant faith. As your relationship with God deepens, you feel compelled to live out your faith more fully. This might manifest in acts of service, sharing your testimony, or simply showing love and kindness to those around you. Your faith becomes not just a personal journey, but a testimony to others of God's goodness and power. Importantly, this journey of spiritual growth and deeper faith is not a solitary one. As you grow closer to God, you also grow closer to the community of believers. Fellowship with other Christians becomes a source of encouragement and support. Hebrews 10:24-25 urges us to consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. This communal aspect of faith helps to sustain and nurture your spiritual growth. Number 5, answered prayers. One of the most profound experiences in a believer's life is witnessing the power of answered prayers. Prayers that you have fervently prayed for months or even years begin to see responses. And while these answers may not always come in the way you expect, they align perfectly with God's timing and plan for your life. This experience not only deepens your faith, but also strengthens your relationship with God as you witness His faithfulness in action. The journey of prayer is often marked by persistence and patience. Many times we bring our deepest desires and concerns before God, hoping for immediate answers. Yet God's timeline often differs from ours, teaching us to trust in His wisdom and timing. In Luke 18:1-8, Jesus shares the parable of the persistent widow, emphasizing the importance of persistent prayer and faith. The widow's unwavering persistence in seeking justice serves as a powerful reminder that we too must continually seek God in prayer, trusting that He hears us and will answer in His perfect time. When prayers are finally answered, the experience is both humbling and awe-inspiring. These moments remind us that God is not only listening, but is actively involved in our lives. Sometimes the answers come in unexpected ways, challenging our understanding and expectations. For instance, you may pray for a specific job, but instead God opens a different door that leads to even greater opportunities and fulfillment. Or perhaps you pray for healing, and while physical healing may not come immediately, you experience profound emotional and spiritual healing that transforms your life. These answered prayers often reveal God's perfect plan and timing. In Isaiah 55:8-9, God reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts. This verse underscores the reality that God's plans for us are far greater and more comprehensive than we can imagine. His answers to our prayers, though sometimes different from our requests, are always aligned with His divine purpose and our ultimate good. Experiencing answered prayers also cultivates a deeper sense of gratitude and dependence on God. Each answered prayer becomes a testament to His love and faithfulness, encouraging us to trust Him more fully. We begin to see our relationship with God not as a transactional one, but as a journey of faith, where our prayers are expressions of our trust and reliance on Him. This deepened trust is beautifully illustrated in Proverbs 3:5-6, which encourages us to trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Moreover, answered prayers serve as powerful testimonies to others, inspiring and encouraging those around us. When we share our experiences of God's faithfulness, we offer hope and reassurance to others who may be struggling in their own prayer journeys. Our stories of answered prayers remind them that God is listening, He cares, and He is capable of doing immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, as stated in Ephesians 3:20. The process of having prayers answered also refines our understanding of God's character. We come to know Him as a loving Father who delights in giving good gifts to His children, as described in Matthew 7:11. We learn to trust His wisdom, recognizing that He knows what is best for us even when we do not. This growing understanding fosters a deeper intimacy with God as we learn to align our desires with His will and seek His guidance in all aspects of our lives. Answered prayers are not just about receiving what we ask for, but about the transformative journey of faith they entail. They teach us patience, deepen our trust, and bring us closer to God. They remind us that God is sovereign, His timing is perfect, and His plans for us are good. As we witness His faithfulness in answering our prayers, we are encouraged to continue praying with confidence, knowing that He hears us and will answer in His perfect way and time. Number 6, renewed purpose and direction. One of the most transformative experiences in a believer's life is the revelation of a renewed purpose and direction. This renewed sense of mission comes with a clearer understanding of God's will, new insights, ideas, and passions that align with His divine plan. As you gain this clarity, you begin to feel invigorated and directed, ready to embrace the path God has set before you. The journey to discovering renewed purpose often begins with a season of seeking and listening. It requires spending intentional time in prayer, reading Scripture, and being still before God. As you engage in these spiritual disciplines, God starts to reveal His plans for you. Jeremiah 29:11 offers assurance in this process. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. This promise reminds us that God has a specific and beneficial plan for each of our lives. During this time of seeking, you may find that God places new passions and ideas on your heart. These divine inspirations often align with your gifts and talents, pointing you toward a purpose that not only fulfills you, but also serves others and glorifies God. For instance, you might discover a passion for mentoring young people, leading a community service project, or pursuing a career that uses your skills to make a difference in the world. As you begin to understand these new directions, you also gain a clearer vision of your life's mission. This clarity is a powerful motivator, as it helps you focus your efforts and make decisions that are in line with God's will. Proverbs 16:9 tells us, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." This verse reassures us that while we may have our own ideas and plans, it is ultimately God who guides and directs our paths. A renewed sense of purpose often brings with it a sense of urgency and determination. You feel compelled to take action, to step out in faith, and to pursue the new direction God has given you. This might mean making significant changes in your life, such as changing careers, relocating, or committing to a new ministry. These steps can be daunting, but they are also exciting opportunities to trust God and see His faithfulness in action. Number 7, encouragement from others. In the journey of faith, one of the most reassuring signs of God's presence and guidance is the encouragement we receive from others. These affirmations often come at just the right moment, providing support and confirmation that align with what God has been speaking to your heart. Whether from friends, family, or even strangers, these words of encouragement serve as powerful reminders of God's love and faithfulness. When you're walking through challenging times or uncertain seasons, it can be easy to feel isolated and unsure of the path ahead. However, God's encouragement often comes through the people around us, offering timely words that speak directly to our situation. This divine orchestration is a testament to God's intimate involvement in our lives. In Proverbs 16:24, we are reminded of the power of positive words. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Such words can uplift our spirits and give us the strength to persevere. One of the beautiful aspects of receiving encouragement from others is the way it often aligns with what God has already been whispering to our hearts. This alignment acts as a confirmation that we are on the right path. It's as if God is using these external voices to reinforce His internal guidance. For instance, you may be praying about a new direction or decision, feeling a nudge from God, and then someone unexpectedly offers a word that echoes your prayers and thoughts, providing clarity and assurance. Encouragement from others can come in various forms: an uplifting conversation with a friend, a supportive message from a family member, or even a kind word from a stranger. These moments are not mere coincidences, but are often orchestrated by God to remind us that He is with us and that we are not alone. Hebrews 3:13 encourages believers to encourage one another daily, as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. This verse underscores the importance of mutual encouragement in the body of Christ. In addition to personal affirmations, God can also use the broader community to provide encouragement. This might happen through sermons, worship songs, or testimonies shared in church. These communal experiences can deeply resonate with what you are going through, offering hope and confirmation that God is at work in your life. It is a reminder that the church is not just a place of worship, but a supportive community where believers can find strength and encouragement. Moreover, the encouragement we receive often sparks a desire to offer the same support to others. As we are comforted and uplifted, we are inspired to become sources of encouragement for those around us. This reciprocal relationship of giving and receiving support is beautifully described in 2 Corinthians 1:3-4. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God. This passage highlights how the comfort and encouragement we receive from God equip us to support others in their times of need. Encouragement from others also helps to build a sense of community and belonging. Knowing that others are aware of your struggles and are rooting for you can make a significant difference in your ability to persevere. It reminds you that you are part of a larger family of believers who care for one another and bear each other's burdens. Galatians 6:2 instructs us to carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. This mutual support is a vital aspect of living out our faith. In summary, encouragement from others is a profound and tangible expression of God's presence and guidance in our lives. These affirmations, whether from friends, family, or strangers, often come at precisely the right time, confirming what God has been speaking to our hearts. They remind us that we are not alone and that God is intimately involved in our journey. As we receive this encouragement, we are also called to become sources of support for others, fostering a community of love, care, and mutual upliftment. By paying attention to these signs, you can recognize that God is indeed moving in your life in significant ways. Trust in His timing, stay faithful, and watch how He orchestrates everything for your good and His glory.